This is the #1 strategy I've seen that separates the average reps from the really good ones. Hey, I'm Jed Mahrle with PandaDoc. In this video, we're gonna talk about the idea of snowball prospecting, what it is, and how you can start implementing it into your strategy. So first, what is snowball prospecting? Well, it's actually really simple. It's essentially when you're reaching out to a larger account and you have to go through lots of different people and multi-thread to different decision makers. It's the idea of making the most of every touch point you have. So when you go from one person to the next, you're taking the information you learned from the last contact, taking it to the next person, and the snowball starts to kind of build up and up and up until eventually you get to that decision maker. You have all this ammunition, you can book that meeting because you have all this information. Let's talk about an example of what this might look like. Let's say I call a CRO and they hang up on me immediately. The average rep is gonna just take that, move on, and forget about it, right? But the really good reps who know how to multi-thread really effectively, they're gonna take that and they're gonna go to the next person and say, hey, I just had a conversation with your CRO. Sounds like they're not the right person, but I was curious if you handled XYZ process, right? So you're front loading with what you've already learned about that account. The fact that you took a hang up or something that most reps would see as nothing and turned it into somewhat of a warm intro is, again, what I've seen separate the average reps from the really good ones. You have to make the most out of each hang up, each not interested reply. But again, it all comes down to how you actually communicate it. You don't want to say, the CRO just referred me over to you. You say, hey, I just had a conversation, or we were just in communication, or we just had an email exchange. Sounds like they're not the right person, but I saw that you handle this and was curious if you were in charge of this process. Taking it a step further, after I've spoken with the CRO, let's say I call the director of sales and they tell me, no, I don't actually handle that process, but we're using this competitor. Now I've spoken with the CRO, I learned that they're using this competitor, and I can go to the next person in the company and say, hey, I've spoken with all these people here. It sounds like you're using this competitor. Would you be open to talking about XYZ? Again, the whole idea here is that you're taking any bit of information you've learned, any touch point you've used, and you're using that as ammunition at the start of your phone calls and even your emails. You can lead with that and say, have spoken with these people at your company in the front line of your emails. To recap, we learned the method of snowball prospecting, why it separates the really good reps from the average ones, how to start making the most out of every touch point, even the phone call hangups and the not interested email replies. And overall, the goal of this is just so you can start prospecting and going through accounts much faster, booking meetings with decision makers with more ammunition, and again, making the most out of every touch point so you can get those meetings a lot faster. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more sales tips.